hammered Isaac were hammered by Isaac. So those are areas I expect to have problems with the surge, and along with northwestern portions of Lake Pontchartrain, and then going into Lake Maurepas. So it definitely, if you're in these areas, you need to take action now. Make sure you're prepared, and if you do get a evacuation order from your elected officials, from the emergency management, you need to leave. Do not stay. Do not play with your life. Do not play around at all. This is a very serious situation. And you can look at Houma right now. I mean, this forecast for Houma, if there's anywhere that's dry in this area and it is protected, you're going to be cut off. I mean, there's going to be no way out, no way around. There's going to be high water everywhere. So this is the main concern right now. This is the greatest concern. However, it is not the only concern. We also have to worry about the winds. The wind threat with a major hurricane approaching, especially Category 4, and this is not just a weak Category 4. This is in the mid-range, and it could be stronger. We're looking at catastrophic, destructive winds, very significant wind damage across pretty much most of southeast Louisiana, but including portions of coastal Mississippi and southwest Mississippi. Places like Wilkinson County, Mississippi could see hurricane force winds, but especially wind gusts, but it may be even hurricane force winds, sustained winds, if Ida moves a little bit faster into that area. Baton Rouge, you remember Gustav 2008. Expect worse with this. I can't stress that enough. 2008, again, I'm from Baton Rouge. I remember that storm. It was messed up pretty bad. Most of my family had significant impacts. This looks like it's going to be worse. This could finally break the Betsy record with the wind. I believe Gustav was only like 1 mile, below Betsy's record. This right now, with this current forecast, current track, everything suggests that this could probably be the worst storm that Baton Rouge has dealt with in quite some time. Obviously, if we go back into 15, 16, 17, maybe even early 1800s, it may have been something worse. But since we've been keeping records, there has not been anything as bad as what we're currently forecasting. Anywhere further south, it's just going to be worse. Houma, Pierre Part area, I mean, you're looking at worse than Andrew. You're looking at worse than Gustav, if this forecast is correct. New Orleans, that area, St. John, St. Charles Parish, Laplace area, you're looking for destructive winds. You're going to be pretty close to that eye wall. Again, and all it takes is a jog. If the forecast currently has it going right here, if it takes a jog 10 miles east, you've got now the western eye wall over Baton Rouge and going into southwest Mississippi, but you've got the eastern eye wall now that's impacting portions of the New Orleans metro area and even in the North Shore. So anywhere that's in red and purple is significant. Know your location, but know what your concern is. Do you have a lot of trees around your house? If there's no trees around your house, you're probably okay. You can probably stay, but understand, it's going to be miserable. You're probably going to be without power. You may be without water. You may be without other utilities, 58 miles an hour. So with these severe thunderstorm winds, we get damage. So if you're seeing wind gusts up to 70, you could expect pretty significant damage in areas. But right now is that purple and that red area. So from Macomb down to Slidell and towards the southwest, we're looking at destructive to very significant wind damage. Ida is expected to be a Category 4. However, obviously, these storms, when they really peak out in intensity, it's tough for them to maintain intensity, and they'll go through something we call an eye wall replacement cycle. That's got both pros and cons to it. The pro is that it could bring the strongest winds down. So you may, if what was once a Category 4 could be a higher end, even moderate Cat 3. The problem with that is that now, instead of a much more confined area of very destructive winds, you're looking at the wind field expands, and you're looking at a much larger area of, possibly destructive to very significant. So instead of damaging a smaller area, you're looking at providing damage over a much larger area, which then could make restoring power even more difficult. So even if we do get that eye wall replacement, that wind field is going to expand. What also occurs with the wind field expanding, it's going to increase the surge away from the center. The surge near the center is still going to be very high, but the surge away from the center will be able to pick up because of that expanding wind field. The flood threat. This is another issue, and a very concerning issue right now, especially given the surge problems we're going to have. We're expecting, you'll see the, matter of fact, I'll go and let me show the QPF first. This is what we call quantitative precipitation forecast. This is the rainfall we're expecting across the area. You can see almost the entire southeast Louisiana and southwest Mississippi. So like Macomb, Wilkinson County, Walthall County, you're looking at 8 to 10 inches of rain, isolated higher amounts. All it's going to take is that one band just kind of sitting over us. And what this is right here is kind of anticipating near the eastern high wall. So you're looking at very heavy rain. And the other concern that could be is that if you take that track, there are some concerns that it wants to start turning to the north and to the northeast. Well, as these storms start to turn, they do slow down a little bit. We're not anticipating it stalling, not by any means. We are anticipating this storm slowing down as it approaches the coast, but maybe slow down even more after landfall. And wherever that little slowdown occurs and a possible pivot, which could be across southeast Louisiana or southwest Mississippi, that is going to leave an area with very heavy rain. And that's what we're trying to show. That's what they're trying to show right here. So you got this band that could be as much as 15 to 20 inches with isolated higher amounts. So this area right here, which is basically 10 to 15 inches, the kind of the second darker shade of red, that 10 to 15 inches is going to fall into rivers that drain into Lake Pontchartrain and Lake Maurepas. Well, guess what happens with the surge? All that water from the lakes are actually being pushed up the river. So now that 10 to 15 inches of rain has nowhere to go. So this is another concern. If you are by a river or you know you're in a low-lying area that can flood, you probably should leave. Make your preparations and get much